Today we're talking about social rich media advertising and building the ultimate fan-consumer relationship. My name is Tim Putnam, and I am the Vice President of Client Services at Moontoast. Moontoast has a social rich media platform that lets you get in and build social rich media units and then distribute them across social channels, collect a lot of great information that we're going to be talking about in a little bit. And it's my job to help our clients use the tool and get them onboarded and make sure that we're working with digital marketers to provide sound social media strategies using rich media. So today we're just going to walk through a little bit about what social rich media is and some strategies and best practices to get the most out of it. So as digital marketers, we are story designers. And the stories that we tell live on social networks and they travel word of mouth. And so we want to create these compelling and engaging experiences where people are online, where they spend their time online. So the social environment, let's talk about Facebook for a second. Organically, between 6 and 15% of your audience are going to see your Facebook post. This is without paid media. 6% is on the low side, and that scales based on the size of your community. 15% is on the high side. So the other thing to consider is that social stories happen quickly. The half-life of a post that we've seen is around 3 hours. So in 3 hours, a post is going to get over half of its engagement. And so as it falls down and off the wall, last week's viral video is already over. So we're aware that these experiences happen very quickly. They happen in the stream where people are consuming content. And social is also a low barrier to entry. It's simply clicking a like or a follow button. And because of this, you have people who are at various phases of the social journey, the consumer journey. Some people might be a complete brand advocate and love what you're doing and have been following what you've been doing online. Other people might have just seen a post that you posted through a friend last week. They decided to click follow or like and just check it out and see what you've got next. So the idea is to meet people at all of these phases, and that's our job as story designers, is to entertain fans and take them along this journey. So we believe that there have been 3 waves of social. The first wave is listening, and this happened several years ago whenever the advent of social networks really started to take off and brands began jumping on there, and it really was a listening exercise, just listening for sentiment analysis, trying to understand what people were saying about the brands. And then we moved into the second wave, which was publishing, where brands realized that they had to have this two-way street, this conversation with fans. And so a lot of the publishing tools came out that enabled brands to do these things. And we believe that we're now in this third wave, which is activation. So now we want to prove ROI. We want to give fans greater content so that it spreads even more word of mouth. Your communities grow, but even more than that, we migrate them down through the consumer journey. So at Moontoast, we focus a lot on activating fans within the social stream, and this slide is really a demonstration of the fact that more people are spending time in the news feed as opposed to on a brand's timeline. When timeline became an opt-in exercise, you started to see traffic to tabs underneath timeline diminish dramatically as brands were no longer able to set the front page of their Facebook page, and you can see when timeline became mandatory, it just really dropped off. And so any tab applications that brands were supporting really stopped getting any meaningful traffic, and that really supports the need to interact within the social stream, within the news feed specifically. And when you look at the news feed, we see 115 billion newsfeed impressions daily on desktop and 65 billion newsfeed impressions on mobile. And it's also where the majority of the engagement happens, with 65% of likes happening in the newsfeed, 35% of comments. And then on mobile, we see a similar 65% of likes and 45% of comments. So the newsfeed is really where fans are engaging. It's where they want to be. It's where they want these experiences to come to them. And so we'd like to introduce social rich media as a way to activate fans within the social stream. We build interactive and transactional rich media experiences which load and interact in the Facebook newsfeed and across other social networks and nurture this entire consumer journey. So we have units that focus on awareness. We want to focus on engagement, education of a product, facilitating transactions, opting in, and providing incentives and purchase intent. All of these things are things that we can touch with rich media by giving interactive experiences and leading people, again, through this consumer journey. So this is an interesting poll that came from, well, we got the chart from marketingcharts.com, but ad agencies were polled about the demand of rich media, and 51% of ad agencies said that the number of clients who are requesting these rich media ads has increased in 2013, and an additional 20% said they expect it to increase. So you have 71% of ad agencies who are polled saying that there is a demand and the demand is going to grow. And this is just a demonstration of how their clients really want to provide these rich, engaging advertising experiences that go deeper than just a traditional display ad, where people can actually get in, interact, touch things, play with things, and have a more immersive experience. And we'll talk a little bit more about this in a second, but it works twofold. It's not only for the consumers, but also for the marketer. And when we look at just traditional rich media and the results that it drives, we see up to 1,000% increase in interactions. We see up to 6 times higher engagement rates, and we see an average click-through rate of 0.14%. So awesome interaction, really great engagement, and then the click-throughs are an interesting number that we'll look at again. So today's social measurement is really tied to engagement. The majority of the community managers that we work with, the digital marketers that we work with, are measured by how many likes, comments, and shares a post might receive, or how many times a post is retweeted or viewed. And so we see a new opportunity. The click-through rates that we see with social rich media are on average between 1% and 3% versus the 0.14% of traditional rich media. We also are introducing a whole new data set. You can see the example on the right here of a rich media post. And this is once the unit is loaded in the newsfeed. And what we are able to do is introduce a ton of touch points for the client or for the end user. So we have a clickable logo URL. We have the ability to click to share. We can measure video views and video completes. We can measure video plays, pauses, replays, any of those interactions. And we can also tag our units with hotspot links that then drive traffic off-site or to a Facebook event where we've had a lot of success just creating appointment dynamic. So introducing this rich data set for marketers to understand consumers more provides an opportunity to get better at the advertising and provide more interesting campaigns to your base demographic. And this is what we believe is the new wave of activation. Not only activating fans to interact with the units, but also capturing those meaningful consumer insights and doing great analysis on them to get better over time. Rich media also ties social to ROI. So for the consumer, social rich media provides this engaging and interactive experience within the social stream. I can load it in my news feed. I can interact with it in my news feed. In this case, I can enter my information to get a coupon or a digital download, all within the news stream. but for the social marketer, it provides these powerful ways to drive ROI. So I can get in-unit metrics and capture leads and drive referral traffic and even do pixel tracking so I can track conversions downstream. And now we're talking about driving real ROI that we can measure against. We have a lot of clients who do collect emails through the social stream, doing either sweepstakes or a be the first to know type list, or in this case of IBM, they offered a savings of $100 to one of their conferences, and we see incredibly high conversion with these units. So as I'm collecting email addresses, if I have a lifetime value for my email addresses, it's very easy for me to say, you know what, this batch of emails came from this social initiative. We have a value of X on our email addresses, and therefore I can tie that to a quick calculation for the ROI that this post has produced. Social is also increasingly mobile. In Q4 of 2012, we saw about 23% of traffic to our rich media units was mobile. I think we've all seen the explosion of smartphones and other handheld devices over the last 6 months. It's been going on for longer than that, but the adoption curve has really started to take off. And today we're seeing between 50 and 75% of traffic can be up to mobile. And it depends, if from an advertising perspective, you might find cases where you might target mobile only, and sometimes that affects the percentage that we see. But we are seeing that adoption grow at a really, really fast rate. Rich media units are mobile optimized as well, so there is a seamless mobile experience across Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and other social networks. So now that we've talked about what social media is, social rich media is, let's talk about some social rich media best practices. And I think that these are best practices that you could take, for the most part, and use with traditional campaigns on social. But these are the things that we found to be most effective with social rich media. And it all starts with creating events, creating a piece of time that fans can become aware that the brand is supporting this initiative. And it doesn't have to be a long piece of time. I think a week is long enough. We've had campaigns that are 24-hour flash sales, for example. But what we'll do is we'll take some time on the front side and the back side of that. Number one, to promote it and create awareness that this opportunity is coming so people know to tune in for it. Then we'll launch the event, and then on the flip side, after the event, we can follow up with support materials that really talk more about the product. So it's an amazing awareness campaign, and that transaction could be either the sale of a product. We've had a lot of great success with product launches. It could be a sweepstakes where we're asking fans for their email address in return for an entry. Could be getting an email address in return for a digital download. Any of those things, or it doesn't have to be transactional at all, but we do see consistent success when we wrap an event with multiple units to support that. So in the example here, we have a countdown that creates awareness that links to a Facebook event where I can RSVP on the date that the sweepstake is coming. And then the sweepstakes drops in, and again, we collect email in exchange for the entry. And then on the flip side of that, we have an image gallery that educates people on a variety of products with links that can take them off-site. So events give context, and that's why we recommend this. A single post about a single topic has limited reach. If you think back to the organic chart that we showed earlier, it's only got 6 to 15% reach. Multiple posts over time create a theme, and social rich media is that interactive event within that theme that gets people to really, touch it and explore and share with their friends. So here are 5 steps to creating events. Number one, we want to talk about curating the event, setting goals, building excitement and appointment dynamic, launching the event, and supporting the event. As far as curation goes, we really try to approach it in terms of treating social fans as VIPs, and we want to provide a reward to them and give them a reason to, come to our party. So things that we can do for an event might be an amazing prize or a unique download. Exclusives do really well, putting some type of limitation on the items or the duration that they're available, making them not available anywhere else. Autographs do really well, discounted items, obviously, as well as free shipping. So we'll take a combination of these things and create a well-curated event that fans are going to respond to and have a reason to interact with it on social, as opposed to waiting for the same offer to come somewhere else later. And that's really a key driver to a lot of the success that you'll see with rich media. Next, we want to set goals for the campaign. And this is really to help you get set up for success. So know what you're measuring to determine success is the first key for measurement. And with rich media, you can go beyond likes, comments, and shares. At Moontoast, we measure based on what we call DITE methodology, which stands for discovery, interaction, transaction, and endorsement. And we believe this is the full social activation life cycle, where a discovery is when an impression comes across my screen and I click on the unit to expand it. An interaction would be any additional clicks that I take within the unit. A transaction would be the primary KPI, whether that is collecting an email address in exchange for a download, or if there is a hotspot on the unit that clicks to a primary destination, then that would be considered the transaction. And then the endorsement is the ability for fans to then take this experience and share it to their own news feeds or onto their own social networks. So we recommend identifying a primary and a secondary KPI. So in a video referral unit that we have, which we'll take a look at in a little bit, our primary KPI might be video completes to create awareness, and our secondary KPI might be click-throughs. But setting yourself up for success by defining what is going to determine that success is an incredibly important step that we find a lot of clients pass over. And so this is something that we believe is truly important, especially for determining ROI. So let's talk about building excitement and appointment dynamic. We use the native tool Facebook Events a lot just to it's a quick and easy way to get people to put it on their calendar, RSVP for an event, and then we can invite fans to RSVP through the unit. You can see on our video referral unit over here, we have a nice big blue button to join the event, and that just simply links straight over to Facebook's native Facebook Events. But because it's wrapped in this creative experience where there's the video playing at the top, I can explore the products down below. It just made it a really nice, concentrated, sort of peer-pressured, for lack of a better term, experience that really drove people to click on to join the event. We recommend posting about the event a couple times before the launch. So that could be, weeks in advance. If it's a large campaign, it could be a few days in advance as reminders as well. And for example, this could be, on Wednesday, May 12th at 10 Eastern, we're launching a sweepstakes with your chance to win an awesome prize. RSVP here, or click below to learn more, all of those types of things. And then using Moontoast Rich Media, like I said, you could link that to a Facebook event as well. So launching the event, obviously once you've promoted a day and a time, the goal would then be to deliver on that day and time. And posting is just as simple as creating a status update and entering the link of the Rich Media unit. We definitely recommend having the value proposition and the call to action both in the status update copy at the top of the unit, as well as down here in the unit title and the share message. Now, we have experimented with a lot of variety of share images here, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but this image can definitely affect the impact of the performance of the unit, of people clicking on the unit to actually load it. So once the unit's posted, we will typically have eyeballs on it to just monitor the post-launch analytics to see how it's performing. If people are getting inside the unit, once they're inside, what are they doing? How well is the unit converting based on our goals that we've set previously. And then we also want to monitor any comments to help and interact with fans. If there are any, comments that people have questions about a product, or if there are any negative comments, we want to just deal with those and have a plan set up in place to deal with those as well. And then supporting the event. Owned, earned, and paid media can all help extend the reach of a post. So we talked earlier about organic posting. So we'll monitor that for a couple hours to identify the conversion and optimization. Sometimes this goes as high as 24, 48 hours. And then we'll supplement that reach with paid media. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. For organic posts, we recommend posting multiple times with different status updates throughout, and this is a way to kind of cheat that 6 to 15% organic reach, just by getting it in front of people at different times of day, by getting it in front of people multiple times. Sometimes they'll see it the first time and not interact. The second time, maybe they will. And certainly making a last call generally provides a spike in traffic to the units. So if there's an opportunity to enter a sweepstakes or buy a product, that last call definitely drives that sort of panic mode of people getting in there to make sure they don't miss out. And then finally, we definitely recommend saying thank you in your own special way. All of the status updates and speaking to fans, we encourage our clients to use the brand voice and be on point with that. But certainly saying thank you after people have engaged with you in this way just goes a long way to developing that relationship. So let's talk about optimization, and this really gets into the paid portion of social rich media and getting beyond that 6 to 15%, whether that's on Facebook or also you have the ability on Twitter as well, and other networks are also catching up with a lot of their ad capabilities. So once you have your campaign and rich media units ready, we've used the Facebook Ads API and partners that we work with to identify the best groups to target and the best units for conversion. So if you have a specific goal in mind, Moontoast will recommend a specific unit that's based on a KPI that aligns to your goals. And then we'll work with our partners to identify the target groups that work best for that particular offer. And what's cool about this is we then have the ability to do a couple things. We can optimize based on the target groups, so which demographic or interest group is loading the unit and interacting with it. And we can also optimize for two things within our unit. First, we recommend optimizing for discovery, which is that initial click to load the unit. And then once people are getting in, we can optimize for conversion of the primary KPI. So this really enables us in the first, early hours of a campaign to identify, who is interacting the best with the units, who is converting the best with it, and even if we do a small portion of the ad spend to those groups to find out, who our best performers are, we can then allocate the rest of the media spend to really drive that performance, and that helps tremendously just in getting people into the unit and then driving those results. So this is an example from a real client where we were giving away a free MP3 by Bob Marley, and we experimented with two types of creative. So the post on the left at the below has the "It's all good" yield sign, and we ran with this one for a little while, and then we recommended to update it with a picture of Bob Marley just to see what impact that would have. And as that was relaunched, we saw that the photo with the face performed 2 times better in terms of getting people into the unit. So with that kind of increase, obviously we reallocated all of the spend over to the unit that was performing better. And there's other data out there that really suggests that photos of people, specifically with their mouths open, I'm assuming that that is mostly for smiling, gets very, very high interaction rates. And so for rich media, this is the entry point to the unit. And so that's a very important piece of it. The other thing that we think affects this the most is also the status update here. So calling out that I can click below, calling out what the value proposition is. You can see I've got a free download up here. Anything that gives people a reason to interact is definitely helpful. So how do we implement these rich media best practices? I'm going to walk through a couple different units that we have, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. So stick around for a second if you have any questions. So our video referral unit essentially takes a YouTube video and then wraps it with a call to action. So the creative below the video here is any creative that our clients put together. And what's unique about this unit is we're able to wrap those with what we call hotspots. And so each one of these hotspots link directly to the specific product on the Warriors in Pink website. And so it's driving significant referral traffic, and the click-throughs that we get once people are in the unit are significant. Obviously, it depends on the offer, but we've seen anywhere from 15 to 36% click-through rate on these. And again, from the slide that I showed earlier, we also have a whole other data set, metrics that we're looking at that indicate which people are interested in. So as a digital marketer, it might be really important for me to understand, which of these products are most popular. And just by looking at the click events from our unit, we can definitely provide that data. So all of a sudden, I have not only a click that loads the unit, but I'm also able to get instant market feedback in terms of which products are performing best for a specific target group. And then this is one of our countdown units, and we really use this a lot to create excitement, specifically for any type of launch, whether it's a product launch or a sweepstakes or a special flash sale. It's just something that is out there to create this cool experience for fans and let them know that something is coming. And you can see in the top portion here, there's really just a background image on this one, which I can label hotspots anywhere, and I'll show you in a second that the RSVP and the sign up have hotspots on them. I can move the countdown around on the unit. In this case, we put it below because we have a video that plays at the top. So I'm able to have some teaser video and create that sort of excitement up here, or you could play just a standard commercial. And then down below, again, we've got our hotspots that, again, on mobile and desktop, link off to the Facebook event or link off to sign up for additional updates. And we have other units that when you click the sign up, a form would overlay the bottom here, and I can actually capture that information without forcing the user to leave the page. So there's a variety of configurations to consider, and that's really what's so awesome about rich media. And then the last one that I'll show you is a sweepstakes unit that we had, and this was designed to really build an email list for the doors. They were giving away an autographed poster by 3 of the members, one of whom has passed in the last couple of months. Really they've recently relaunched a website. They are trying to build their email list, and so we used a sweepstakes to give this away. And so once the unit's loaded and I click on it, a simple sign-up form comes up. I enter my information and click submit, and I'm done. So it's a very, very seamless experience in the stream, and we see incredible conversion from email capture campaigns like this. And again, it depends on the offer, and it depends on that reward that you are willing to give to your fans. But we've seen incredibly high conversion with these units, between 50 and 60%. So 5 out of 10 people who come in are going to give us their email address, and then when our clients import those email addresses from social to their email database, we typically are seeing, anywhere between 33 and 91% of emails are completely new to file. So we go all the way back to the idea that social is a really low barrier to entry, and I've got a ton of people who might be fans of my brand, but I don't have another way to contact them. So we're providing these rich media experiences that really migrate them from that like into an email subscriber, moving them down that consumer journey. So that's all that I have for the presentation now, and I think we have some questions. So if you have any questions, and feel free to chat them in the chat or the questions box, and I'm going to answer them shortly here. So question number 1, are there different kinds of apps that have been more effective than others? I think that the effectiveness completely depends on the KPI. So what are you really trying to measure? What is the goal of the campaign? And we start off with clients by really breaking down where that lies within the consumer journey. So is the campaign really about brand awareness? If so, we will drive them to a specific unit that is really effective for brand awareness. Is it about creating purchase intent or product consideration? Do we need to educate them on the differences between, two car models, for example? So it really depends on what the end goal is. And we typically, look at what brands are already doing with a campaign and then try to see how we can help them extend that reach into social. So there's not really a standard unit that I think is a one-size-fits-all. Our video referral unit is probably the most popular at this point, but again, I think it depends on what the KPI is. Question number 2. What is the importance of multi-channel and multi-device when it comes to social advertising? Does your platform support desktop, mobile, tablet natively? So speaking back to the slide that I showed about the mobile traffic that we're seeing, we saw the increase in mobile happen really, really fast. Again, back in October, we were around 24% or 23% mobile traffic, and over the holidays and into January, we saw that start to go up and up and up. And now on a regular basis, we're seeing 50% and higher of our traffic is mobile. And I think that again is a testament to the adoption of mobile and tablet devices. and yes, the platform is mobile friendly and optimized for those devices. Question number 3, there's been a lot about video in the news lately. Do you have apps that support video plays? So yes, and you can see I think the news is with Instagram and their new 15-second movie model. We do support video. Out of the box, we natively support YouTube videos. So all you have to do is copy a YouTube video and enter it into our admin. And it will play. That's how we get our video referrals, how we build them. So it's a really simple process. And I will say that, again, it is a self-serve platform, so that we're not like an agency that is a bottleneck to your rich media creation. We want to give clients the power to create their own. Question 4, my company is looking to do a promotional campaign around a new product, and we're looking to social to do a lot of pre-launch buzz. What kind of apps do you have to support some pre-launch marketing strategies, and is there a unit that supports live streaming? I think for pre-marketing we have a variety of things. We saw the countdown unit. That's always nice to put out there, just so that creates the expectation that something is coming. We do a lot of work, again, with our video referral, where we'll play either a teaser video or a full commercial for a product, or it could even be something as simple as an iPhone movie that is something from behind the scenes or from a celebrity endorser. Those get incredibly high engagement rates. So I think that, and also we have an image gallery that plays a slideshow, so you could have product photos or lifestyle photos of the product in use with links to learn more about it and really seed that interest and purchase intent with those. And then as far as the live streaming goes, we have done several custom units that do live streaming, and if your YouTube account is live streaming enabled, then we can do that out of the box with our video referral units. Question 5, can you click on all the different touch points on an ad unit, or do you have to click on a link first? So that's a really good question, and the way that Rich Media displays like once the units are loaded, you can click anywhere within them where there is a hotspot, and that will drive to that referring URL. Now, if there's a sign-up form, for example, with our Sweepstakes unit, all of that will happen natively within the unit itself, so that it's not sending the user anywhere else. Question 6, does this work for B2B companies? We have had some success with B2B. I think it depends on what your goals are and who the target audience is. We do a lot of work with conferences. You saw the example with IBM earlier. So I think there is a solution, but I'd love to know more about what specifically you'd like to do with that. Question 7, when does Moontoast become available to UK users, and is there a price list online yet? That is a great question. Moontoast is available to UK users, and I don't believe there is a price list online yet. I recommend reaching out to either me, I'm tim@moontoast.com, or you can hit hello@moontoast.com, and we would be happy to talk to you more about what your specific needs are. Question 8, do you have a similar presentation upcoming for Twitter? That's a great question, and we'll take that back with our marketing team and put something together, because we are doing an increasing amount of work with Twitter. We were recently certified for Twitter cards and launched the first live stream player card on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. The experience with our Rich Media units is on mobile is a seamless experience across a variety of social networks. So whether you're finding the units on Google+, Twitter, Facebook, etc., when you click the link to the Moontoast unit, it loads in a seamless experience, like right within the app wrapper, whether that's Twitter or Facebook, etc. Question 9, how do we ensure that a video uploaded is leveraged out maximum before being dead or stale? That's a good question. I think if I understand what you're asking, we want to make sure that the content that we're sending out really peaks, right? And I think that events are a great way to do that, and what we've had success with in the past is, again, using teasers to create this anticipation. So if you have a series of videos and have a nicely produced teaser of something that's coming up, that shows kind of just enough that gets people excited, and then you're creating really hype for the actual reveal. That's one way that we've spiked traffic, and also just creating that appointment dynamic of, you're going to be the first to know, be the first to see, never before seen footage, behind the scenes. Those are all types of calls to action or value propositions that will get more people inside to watch the videos. Question 10, we're a publishing company wanting to boost magazine subscriptions. Which of your products would you recommend for acquiring new subscribers as well as retaining them? That's an awesome question, and I think that's a good opportunity just for me to say that Moontoast clients have access to the full standard platform. So we have a variety of templated units, including the ones we just looked at, that you can build on your own, that you have access to from your own admin panel, and it's not a app per app type of system. We're a SaaS-based model, and so once you're in, you have access to all of them. And so if I were a magazine publisher, there's a variety of things that you can do on a monthly basis or however frequent you're releasing magazines. But we use everything from video referrals to the image gallery that could maybe focus on some photos that might be in the new issue with a link off to subscribe or to go buy the magazine. We actually provide commerce tools as well, so we can actually facilitate a transaction in stream. And then I think if you have like major milestone editions, you could use Countdown to really create that anticipation. And I think there's a variety of options there that you could be creative with to not only create the awareness, but also for the retention and just continue to reward those social fans and show them the benefits of being not only a fan on social, but also what they're getting inside the magazine. So you can create those kind of units that drive that purchase intent. Question 11, can you elaborate on how the creative building process looks like? Is the creative tablet agnostic? So the templated units that we have, it's just, as simple as logging into our platform, uploading the creative, entering the copy, and the platform kind of puts all of that stuff together for you. One of the things that we have a very high focus on, specifically because of the mobile traffic amount that we're seeing, is working through responsive design. So I'll get a little bit technical here, but the basic idea is to provide a seamless experience across a variety of devices. Today we are optimized for mobile so that you do have the experience that is that seamless thing where you can load and transact with the units, and everything that we're building has that responsive design focus on it. So the units that might not be completely responsive for all devices, and it's a hard thing to keep up with just because there are multiple devices that come out all the time. But we are benchmarking against the traffic that we're seeing and then building our units to respond to the top units or devices that we're seeing our units used on. I hope that made sense. Question 12, do you have any live examples of your ad units? Yes, I do, and I will pop out quickly and try to show you. Bear with me. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to our friend Kaiser Toasty on Facebook, and I'm just going to open up a couple of these. So one thing we work with clients on is the difference between timeline and the newsfeed. And we have a lot of clients who are just really concerned about cluttering up their timeline, and we're not quite as concerned with that just because we know that the majority of the interactions are going to happen on the newsfeed. So I'm going to open up two recent units that we've launched here and show them. So this is an example of our image gallery. We did this one with Toyota this past weekend at their Toyota Save Mart 350 race. This was a NASCAR race in Sonoma Valley. Again, this is our share image that you upload on the back end, and then as users click on that, it just loads seamlessly within the stream. And in the image gallery, I can have up to 10 images displayed. So it displays as a slideshow. I can select the duration of time that's spent on each photo, and then I've got a hotspot and on Facebook and Twitter, which just links me to their racing page on Twitter here. The other example is our video referral unit. Once it's loaded It will play. This one actually played 5 minutes worth of gameplay from the new Assassin's Creed unit or game that's coming up. And down below, again, we've got this creative that can be any design that you want, and we have the ability to create this hotspot area on here. And we've tested multiple types of calls to action, and definitely can work with you on optimizing that as well. So it's just a great tool for educating people about what's coming out, as well as driving them to that specific call to action. And if you have other questions or would like to see additional units, please do reach out to tim@moontoast.com or hello@moontoast.com. And then question 13, and I think this is the last question we have. Well, actually, there might be more. Do I need to know HTML coding to build and customize the Moontoast apps, or are they template-based? You do not need to know any HTML coding. It is simply logging into our platform and just uploading the images and copy. So those would be things like the unit title, and there are a variety of fields that are editable on any given unit. So you just simply walk through a variety of pages there and create the units on the fly. And once you save them, you're delivered with a short link that you can then go and distribute across social networks. So it's a very, very simple process. I think the goal of this presentation was really just to introduce you guys to social rich media and show you what was possible. And I do have one more question that just came in. How do you create that kind of video call to action? So I think you're talking about the call to action down here. So this is literally just an image. I think it's a JPEG that the designers created, and on our back end we just uploaded this image, and it already has the pre-order now built into the image. So what we did is we just took actually the whole thing. If you look at my mouse, it turns into a hand here. We took the whole thing, and essentially we have a hotspot creator tool in the admin. So you just drag a square over the whole thing, and then give it a name for analytics, and give it a URL that you want to drive it to, and it's that simple. And you can create up to 6 hotspot areas on any image here. And then we have one other question about pricing. We are, again, a SaaS-based model, so essentially it's a monthly licensing fee. We definitely would love to talk to you at hello@moontoast.com, or you can reach out to me, tim@moontoast.com. And we're pretty quick to get back, so I would love to open up that conversation and learn about what you guys have upcoming. But yeah, again, we just really wanted to expose you guys to social rich media. We realize it's a new concept that a lot of brands are moving toward. We've definitely seen an increase in interest over the last 6 and 10 months. So just wanted to provide some best practices, and hopefully you're able to take those back and use them in your social campaigns, whether or not they have rich media. We certainly are big fans of people doing creative things online. So thanks everybody for taking the time to join us today. I hope you learned something. I hope that we'll hear from you down the line, and would love to have you reach out on Twitter as well. I'm @TheTCP or @Moontoast, and we'll talk to you soon.